Guys, what's up? How's it going? It's John. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. This video, I want to talk about the Mega SG. This is a new Sega Genesis clone console that came out by Analogue recently. I purchased the system, and I did get a controller along with it as well. I did a review over the controller in a previous video, but I did purchase the system, and I wanted to check it out for you guys. And this isn't necessarily a review over the system itself, but I want to talk about the jailbreak aspect of this system because it is FPGA, which stands for Field Programmable Gate Array, and it's a little bit different than emulation, so to speak. So you talk about games like systems like the Retron 5, for example, they'll dump the ROMs and play those ROMs on the hardware itself, right? This doesn't necessarily do this. This actually reads off the cartridge, which is nice. It will play also Sega CD games. I'll do a future video show you how that works. But I want to dive into the jailbreak, and it's kind of a funny term, jailbreak, but basically what it is, through FPGA, you can actually add other cores, what they call cores, and these are other systems. But you can actually load ROMs onto an SD card and play it through the SD card slot. I'm going to show you how that kind of works. I'll put a link below in this video that has a little bit more instructions. All you have to do basically gives you a firmware update. You basically have to format the SD card, FAT32. You get that firmware, you put it into the system like that, you boot it on. It will take a couple of seconds. There will be a red light, it'll blink really quickly. And then you can add ROMs into various folders on your SD card. So you can start with 2 gig SD card on up. So it's really easy to do, and there's going to be other updates, I'm sure. Analogue has done this with other systems they've released. So it is open source, which is nice. So currently the cores that are included in this jailbreak are, of course, the Genesis, right? Sega Master System, Game Gear, and ColecoVision, one of my favorite systems of all time. So let's go and boot this thing up. Just explain how it works. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and of course, game on. Before I continue, I want to say a big shout out to my friend Kirk. He helped me with this build. Huge help with this. He's got a YouTube channel called Addict1. I'll put a link below. So I just want to give props where they're due. Thank you, Kirk, for your help. When you turn on the Sega MG, you get 5 options. You get Run Cartridge, Cores, Play Ultras Core, Settings, and Tools. You can turn on the system without the game. It's not recommended that you pull or change games when the system's on. Okay, tools, you can do it. There's cheat codes you can put in. There's settings, which I'll go over a little bit later. Ultra Core is a game that was an unreleased game. I guess it was supposed to come out in '94, never released, and they actually finished it, which is cool. So it's a run and gun shooter, which is awesome if you're fans of like Contra, games like that. This is a really cool game, and it's included when you buy the Sega MG. You can also go to settings here. You can change the resolution. You can do 720. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that if you can do 1080, but that's an option you can change the aspect ratio, which is cool, 1:1. You can do 316 by 9. You do height, etc. All right there. To go back, you hit C. Now, when you're in game, you hit plus button and bottom or down button, and that will get you to the settings screen. C is to go back to the game. So really easy to get around. B is to advance. A is to go back. In most cases, you can change the scalars here. Some of the scalars are kind of odd. They smooth out the pixels, right, so they don't look as blocky. I prefer the old school blocky, 16-bit, some cases 8-bit. Here's an X-ray. I'm not quite sure why you'd want to play a game like that, but some of the scales are really, really kind of overdone. But again, it's an option. Scanlines is cool. You can add scanlines to make it look like you're playing on a classic CRT television, which is awesome. You can adjust the scan lines, which is awesome as well. Make them bigger or thinner. I prefer scan lines, but some people don't. Again, it's a matter of preference. We'll go and turn the scan lines off for the rest of this video. So again, a lot of settings, a lot of options. You can change the audio too. You can make the audio change and where they come from. Pretty cool. Buffers, all that good stuff. A lot of different options. Plenty of options. This game, by the way, is a pretty fun game. It's really cool that they decided to finish it for the Sega MG. Okay, so go to cores. There's Genesis, Sega Master System's SG-1000, which is a really early system. Came out in Japan only. Here's the Genesis. I just want to kind of show you. Everything's alphabetical, so when you put your ROMs in there, I would recommend you put them in alphabetical. You can find them fairly easy. Again, if the link below will kind of show you how to add folders to your SD card in case you don't know how. I'll do Michael Jackson Moonwalker. This game is a lot different than the Sega port for the arcade. Let's keep that in mind. The arcade is more like a beat 'em up. This is more of a side scroller. Goal is to save children, based on the Moonwalker short film by Michael Jackson. Good soundtrack for the Genesis, by the way. It's a pretty uncommon game. I know when he passed away, the value skyrocketed. I'm sure it's kind of died down, no pun intended, since he passed away. Really, really funny game, though. Also ported to the Sega Master System, in case you guys are curious. Okay, go back to cores. We'll go to the, speaking of Sega Master System, it also shows you kind of before there's a box that pops up, shows you that you can push plus and down to basically get back to the settings, which is awesome. A lot of good Sega Master System games. Didn't do as well in North America. Did great in Brazil. In fact, it was supported through Brazil for years. Games like Street Fighter 2 were released, Mortal Kombat, etc. This is an interesting game, kind of an uncommon game. This is Golden Axe Warrior. It's a pretty rare game to find. Plays totally different than Golden Axe. Golden Axe, obviously, most of you guys know, is a beat 'em up. This is more like an adventure game like Zelda. This is basically a Zelda clone by Sega. You'll see here in a second. So imagine Zelda with better color palette. The Sega Master System had, in my opinion, better graphics than the Nintendo Entertainment System. I'll get a lot of heat for that, I'm sure. But obviously the games weren't as good. They had issues with the third-party support. Nintendo dominated the market, at least here in North America. In Europe, other parts of the world, this Sega Master System did better. But unfortunately, there's a lot of, quote, I'm going to steal a term from my good friend Metal Jesus, hidden gems for the Sega Master System that definitely you should check out. We'll check out Game Gear. It's kind of a little brother to the Sega Master System. You can actually play, there's an adapter where you can play Sega Master System games on the Game Gear, which is cool. The hardware itself is very, very similar. So a lot of ports for the Sega Master System were eventually ported to the Game Gear. Sonic 1, for example, an example. We'll check out Mega Man, which, yes, Mega Man did come out for the Game Gear. It's kind of a unique port. It was US Gold. Actually worked on this through association with Capcom, of course. But it's a decent port. There's 4 bosses. So it's a smaller game. You couldn't fit as much memory onto a Game Gear cart. But I love the Game Gear. I bought one when it first came out. Battery life really wasn't very good on it. Game Boy just dominated the market. But Game Gear was pretty successful in North America. And definitely if you don't have a Game Gear, I definitely would recommend picking one up. And Mega Man isn't a bad port, or isn't a bad game. I think this is an original game. I say port. I think this is actual original Mega Man game. It's different. I'm not quite sure if this is different than the Game Boy version. Please let me know in a comment below. I'm sure you guys will know that. I should, for sure. Definitely have to check this game out a little bit more. He jumps really high. I'm assuming it's because he's in space. But you can also hold down the button and kind of charge your weapon like in most Mega Man games. What's your favorite Mega Man game, guys? Leave a comment below. Let me know. I'm very, very curious. I love Mega Man 6. Personally, I also love Mega Man 2. It's probably one of my favorites. Okay, go ahead and exit this. We'll go to one of my favorite systems of all time. And for most of you guys know that, it's the ColecoVision. First system I've ever played. Now, you notice Donkey Kong, I've had issues here. It says, will not read BIOS. Now, if that happens, what you got to do is you got to go out to the settings, the system settings. Go to Coleco. And you have to basically go to the options and you have to select the BIOS. So this will occur every once in a while. I've had this happen. You have to use, now SGM stands for Super Game Module. That's an attachment. These games are compatible with the Super Game Module. Now you can't play carts through, you can't put ColecoVision carts into the Mega SG. It will play the ROMs. It will play the actual files. So if you want to play carts, you can use Genesis or Mega Drive carts. It also comes with an adapter where you can play Sega Master System carts, which is cool too. But if you're purist and you prefer to play cartridges, the Phoenix is coming out. Basically, it's the ColecoVision Phoenix. It's a system that we're working on as a team, which is an FPGA system that will play ColecoVision carts, which is pretty awesome. So similar to this, but it's actually dedicated to the ColecoVision. And just like this, that will be open source, and there'll be other cores available for that. I'll put a link below in case you guys want to find out more information. But overall, this is a really cool system. I really recommend you guys check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for following. We'll see you guys soon. Take care, and game on.